Feeling sad is a natural emotion we all experience in our lives. Some of us experience that every day, some of us experience that every now and then, and that's okay. It's good to have natural ups and downs in our life. However, when sadness becomes a constant state of being, that can be debilitating. When sadness is stopping you from living your life, you only have this one life. So if it's stopping you from moving on, I'm not saying that you can't feel sad today, tomorrow, you're being emotional, or you're crying about something negative that has happened. Not what I'm talking about. But when you are unable to move on with your life, when you've been sad for a month, 6 months, a year, 5 years, that's a problem. But luckily, there are a few things you can do, just a few small tools which can help you manage your sadness in everyday life. One of the habits that's keeping people sad is dwelling on the past. Now, that's constantly replaying past events, whether it's positive or negative. You are constantly living in the past. Now, that can stop you from fully just living in the present moment or just moving on with your life. So, how can you stop dwelling in the past? One of those things is journaling. Now, I'm not saying things like, Dear Diary, today was a fantastic day. I had a cookie, I didn't have a donut, so it's going fantastic. No. You can have a dedicated journal and time, for example, in the morning or in the evening, where you're just reflecting on your life or your day or your thoughts. Or you could just have a notepad and you could just write those thoughts down. Write it down, just get it out of you. Whatever those thoughts are, just get it onto paper, get it out of your head. You can either then read it through or you can just chuck it away. It doesn't matter. But just get it out of you. Those thoughts is like a hamster or a mouse, just running around in your head over and over, and that's stopping you from moving on with your life. Now, it sounds very simple, and I think that's why many people are neglecting it. But I do believe it has a profound impact. Just the idea of writing down of whatever is bothering you. Either you're anxious about something or you're really sad about something. Just write it down. What are you sad about? What are you anxious about? Write it down. List those things. Maybe you'll realize it's not an essay, it's maybe just 2 or 3 main things. Now, the idea is you've trapped those things on paper, and that can just give you a sense of calm and ease. Another thing is practicing mindfulness. Now, I know there might be some of you saying, I'm not a hippie, leave it for the hippies to meditate and this and that. Things with mindfulness is just to let go, just be in the present moment, like right now. Just be here with me. Maybe you're busy with something at work or school or university, or the kids is running around, or you are worried because your last Instagram post didn't get enough likes. Just let all of that go. Just for 5 seconds, just calm down. Just be. That's mindfulness. Just to be for a moment. Just take a breath, because you need to be able to think clearly about your next move. Where are you going? Because if you are emotionally reacting to every single thing in your life, or 90% of the things in your life, eventually things are going to go wrong. There are times where you need to think logically, and you can only do that if you have at least somewhat of a clear mind. The second habit is comparing yourself to others. So in the age of social media, it's very easy to fall into the trap of comparing yourself to all the other people and their fancy lives. However, we all know what's going to happen to your self-esteem. It's going to be non-existent. So how can you stop comparing yourself to others? Focus on your own journey and accomplishments. So forget about everyone and their accomplishments. Just focus on what you need to do today, and then tomorrow, and the day after. Have a goal. If you don't have a goal, get one right now. Please take time, write it down. You need to have something you are working towards, because if you have nothing you're working towards, what are you going to do? You're going to be bored. You're going to go on social media, you're going to find other people who is maybe actively achieving their goals, and they are posting about it on social media, and you're going to feel bad because you're not accomplishing anything. Why? Because you don't have goals. Focus on yourself and your own journey. The third one is neglecting self-care. Now, neglecting your self-care can lead to feelings of sadness and just eventual burnout. Taking care of yourself is not selfish, it is essential. So what are some self-care activities you can do? Go for a walk in nature. Okay, that's not your thing? Fine. Read a book with some candles or a cup of coffee. Take yourself on a date. Treat yourself. I'm not saying do this every day, every hour. If you're a parent with 5 kids running around, find 15 minutes, you're going to say, I don't even have 1 minute for myself. The point is, we don't need to go off on that tangent. If you have that luxury, try to make your self-care just 5 minutes. Take a breather, read a book, look at the birds chirping. If you don't have kids running around, then you have the luxury of time. Now try to use that to your advantage. Self-care doesn't need to cost a lot of money. It just takes a little bit of time and a little bit of effort and self-love. I want you to take care of yourself. Watch what you're eating, drink enough water, get some form of exercise. You need to take care of yourself. Watch what you're consuming all the time. Why? Because it can either negatively or positively impact your thoughts. The things you are thinking every single day, how you view the world. That all is determined by what you're consuming and then processing. And that's then going back out into the world. And that comes back to what we talked about, which is just mindfulness, just being aware. The fourth bad habit is holding grudges. Now, holding grudges can have a detrimental effect on your mental health. Now, this can lead to strong feelings of anger and resentment, which we know is toxic. What's toxic? It's inside you. You're literally poisoning yourself. So stop it. So how can you practice forgiveness? Acknowledging what happened and the emotions you are experiencing, and then letting go and making peace with the negative emotions of the event. You need to forgive, maybe not because they deserved it, but because you deserve it. And you need to move on with your life. The fifth negative habit is negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can be a vicious cycle that keeps you down. For example, if you talk to your friend this way, "Of course you let me down. What did I expect of you? I didn't expect anything more of you. You are a loser and you're not going to get anywhere in life." If you talked this way to your friends, you will not have any friends. So why are you talking that way to yourself? You need to be a friend to yourself. So how can you practice positive self-talk? By using positive affirmations. Now, what do I mean by this? It means acknowledging to yourself when you did something right or when you did something good. Other people won't always tell you you did a good job or give you a golden star. Sometimes you need to do that to yourself. You need to be able to look in the mirror and say, "Well done. You made it through this. I'm going to treat you to a nice long drive and just enjoy the road, enjoy the music, enjoy the fresh air." Habit number 6, isolating yourself. Now I know there's a few introverts panicking. Relax, wait, just let me explain. Isolating yourself from others can eventually lead to feelings of loneliness, anxiety, or depression. We are naturally social beings. We need to connect with someone eventually. Now, what it means to be an introvert doesn't mean you don't like being social. It means you're very picky with who you are social with and for how long. Now, introverts like connecting with other people, but just a handful of them. Now, for the introverts out there, just make sure you have a balanced social lifestyle. Then you should be okay. For the extroverts, I don't really need to explain. If you're extrovert, you love the energy of people. You get energy from people. So the chances of you isolating yourself is very slim. Number 7, not setting boundaries. Not setting boundaries can lead to feelings of overwhelm and eventually burnout. Now, it's absolutely vital to communicate your needs and set boundaries in order for your own mental and emotional health. How can you practice setting boundaries? By simply saying no. I know it can be difficult and hard, because you don't want to hurt people. You don't want to disappoint people. But you can't keep disappointing yourself. Habit number 8, holding on to perfectionism. There might be some of you who are suffering mentally or emotionally because there was a time in your life where a parental figure or friends kept you to a very high standard and always expected perfection from you. And now you are very hard on yourself. Stop holding yourself to impossible standards. Of course, work hard. Don't be a wimp. But know your own limits. Definitely go and find them. Please go and find them. But know where they are. And be very careful to stretch yourself too thin. The way to let go of perfection is embracing imperfection and simply focusing on the process and the journey. The last one, number 9. Neglecting physical health. Now this goes without saying. If you are neglecting your physical health, which is your diet, water intake, how much you exercise, your body is going to fall apart and your mind and your emotional state will follow. If your biochemistry is not balanced, you can easily feel anxious, stressed, or depressed. For example, if you're not drinking enough water, your body is going to go into a panic. When your body goes into a panic, it releases stress, your mind stress, everything is just screaming at you. If you're consuming 10 cups of coffee a day, yes, you are going to be stressed and you're going to be anxious. So just tone it down. Just find some balance. Just be mindful of what you are eating, because inevitably you are what you eat. If you eat a lot of sugar, that's going to impact your body in a negative way. If you eat somewhat healthy, you're not going to feel on top of the world necessarily. You're just going to feel balanced. And exercise. Now, I'm not saying you need to become a bodybuilder or start CrossFit. Just go for a walk every day and allow that walk to slowly but surely become a walk-run. And then I run. Get that heart pumping, get that lungs filled with air, release all those good chemicals, get some vitamin D, get some sunlight, and I guarantee you will start feeling better. So please take care of your mental health. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.